this is Randall's Log, video 68, and I'm Randall Armstrong. Today's date is Thursday, March 9th, 2017. Alright, I'm going to keep the video short because it's already late. I need to go to sleep. Just like most other days, as of recent, I go to work. I went to work this morning. Everything was cool. I thought me and Frank were going to meet up for lunch, but unfortunately he couldn't make it. He was all the way on the other side of town with work. And so he wasn't going to be on my side of town to meet up and have lunch. So there was no Zaxby's. I ended up getting a much larger than normal roast beef sandwich. I shouldn't have done that. I think I overate, and in doing so, I became very sleepy and very groggy, very tired at work. I was struggling to stay awake. I was just like, I wanted to like literally just put my head down and close my eyes for like a few minutes, but that wouldn't have looked good. So I powered through it. What else? There was a small little moment there. There was this cute girl asking for if we were hiring. I thought she meant Jackson Hewitt. And then the more I talked to her, the more I realized, oh, no, wait, you want a job at Walmart. Because it made more sense. She was young, like maybe fresh out of high school, maybe still in high school. I wasn't sure. I asked her if she had any like work experience, and she was like, nope, no experience. You know, did a little bit of modeling. So I was like, oh, okay. But once I figured it out, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you need to go talk to them. This is Jackson Hewitt. We do tax service, So I was about to like have her call Jackson Hewitt over at University Square Mall. Boy, that would have been an interesting conversation with them. Anyways, there was that. For the most part, it was a slow day. Didn't really talk to anybody. Spent a little bit of time looking for, when I have a little bit of the free time, I like to plan ahead on certain things that I want, either things that I want to do or things that I want to get. I know that I've had my car now for almost 10 years. It's hard to believe, 10 years. That's about, yeah, because the car is a 2008. I got it in 2009. So it's been, what, 8 years? Because we're in 2017. 8 years. Okay. So 2 more years and then it'll be 10 years. The same year that I got the car was the same year I claimed bankruptcy. So, yeah, which is cool, because 8 years is when the whole bankruptcy is kind of like cleared through your credit or, whatever. Anyways, I have like 115,000 miles on the car, so I drive a decent amount, more than I used to. Part of that is because, I like to go hang out with Marco. Marco lives a decent mileage away from where I live. So, when I go there and I visit him, it's generally about 20 miles to get there and then 20 miles to get back. And I make basically 2 trips. So I'm putting in like, probably like 80 miles. I'm putting on 80 miles in one day just hanging with Marco once a week, so that really adds up, which I don't mind. I love hanging out with Marco. Marco is one of my best friends, one of the, the coolest guys I know, smartest guys I know. My life is literally better with him in it, so I'm not complaining. I'm just, I'm realizing that, a lot of the miles that I put on the car, a lot of it has to do with hanging out with friends. And of course, work also. When I was working over at the CBCS over in St. Pete, that was roughly a 20 mile drive. So that was like 40 miles a day. So all of it adds up. But anyways, I was looking through cars. I really like Chrysler. I've had such a great experience with my car that I decided I want to stay with Chrysler, So I'm already looking at other Chryslers. I'm looking at used Chryslers with like 20 and 30,000 miles on it. I'm looking at some of the prices. Generally, a new Chrysler is like between $25,000 and $30,000. I do not want to spend that much on a car. I do not. If anything, I want to spend at least half that. So I've been looking, and I see some used Chryslers with low mileage, between $10,000 and $15,000, which is great because my car, I checked on the Kelly Blue Book. On average, the value of my car is between $4,000 and $5,000. But with the damages on the car, like the dents, the air conditioning not quite working at at its best, the emergency brake. I mean, these are all minor things, but if you try to turn in a car and trade it in with the value, every little thing they'll deduct. So I imagine that my car would go from being worth 4 to 5 thousand to between 2 and 3 thousand. So I was thinking, like, worst case scenario, they only give me 2,000 for the car, then minus the 2,000 from, we'll say, a used car for 14,000, so it'd be down to $12,000. So I would just have to do the math and figure out, like, okay, if I were to pay this car off in 5 years, how much would I be paying monthly for $12,000? If I can have a monthly car payment of $150 a month, that would be solid. I'd be super happy about that. Maybe even $180, I could tolerate that. And that's if I have a full-time job, or when I get a full-time job. It all depends. Not including if I have money saved up and I put money as towards paying off the car or dropping down the price of the car. So these are all things to factor in. Usually, I've only had two cars. The current car that I have now, which is the Chrysler Sebring, and before that, the Hyundai Elantra. Both cars I had for roughly 10 years, which is about half my life. In both instances, I got the car. My dad was the one that helped me get him. He was the one that kind of handled the deal. So if I were to get a new car, it would be the first time I'm buying on my own, which is a huge milestone, I think, in any person's life. Buying something that big, even if its value is only like $12,000. Anyways, this is just stuff that I kind of looked into today. After work, I came home. I watched an episode of Family Guy. Then I watched an episode of Man with a Plan. I drifted off, and then woke back up. Rewatched half of Man with a Plan to finish that off. Then I watched an episode of Big Bang Theory. Had a couple of the barbecue rib sandwiches, like the microwavable ones. So I had a couple of those, some Cheez-Its. Had that for dinner, and that's it. Today wasn't that eventful, but it's okay. That's it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the video short so I can go to sleep. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow. Good night. Thanks for watching.